So you're going to find an annotated bibliography template in your module, right? And that's going to open up as a docx file. And it has everything laid out for you, the spacing, the indenting, all of the bits and pieces that you need to put here. So you can open this up during your exam and just, again, take what's here and replace it with your name. My name will stay the same. You want to come up here and just take this out and replace it with your last name. Double click here. You want to insert your section number for this class, and then you want to put in the day that you are creating this file and that you're submitting it. And remember, in MLA style, we say day, abbreviated month, and year, right? Second thing is, this is what your title should look like. So you're going to replace this first part in brackets with whatever it is that your argumentative paper is about. So if it's about climate change denial, then that's what you put there, and then you leave the rest the same, all right? So here you have, this whole section actually is about your works cited entry. Notice it's in hanging indent, and it tells you about where to find specific information about doing your annotation or your bibliography. And then right here is going to tell you where to begin your annotation. And it's going to remind you of the 3 different parts that go in that annotation: your summary, your evaluation of the rhetorical triangle, and then your assessment of any propaganda or fallacy present. And then you're going to repeat that for the next 2 articles that you've got, all right? At the end, and you'll need to highlight and delete this if you use the template before you submit your file. This is just giving you kind of a real quick template of the major kinds of sources. So these first 4 are all print versions of a book, magazine, newspaper, and journal. And so it tells you, now it doesn't tell you all the different ways to cite author names. So you'll have to use your book if you're not familiar with how to do 1 author, 2 authors, 3 or more authors, or corporate author, right? That's in your textbook. You can look there, right? But it does remind you that, again, you're going to have your article in title case. That's how we capitalize. That's also in your book, and it's going to be in quotation marks. Notice the punctuation. Then you're going to have the container, or the name of the magazine or newspaper. That's going to be italics followed by a comma. Then the date of publication, the location, and for print articles, location is basically the page numbers. After that, you're going to see 2 online citation types. One is for a non-periodical web article. This is usually a web address that's going to end in HTML or HTML, right? And it tells you what to do here. And then for an online database like EBSCO or Questia, what you're going to do, the stuff in the brackets will be for the kind of source that you have located on EBSCO. It will be that works cited entry followed by period, and then you'll give the name of the database information, so the EBSCO location and all that. All right. If you look, so going back up here, if you look at the footnote, you can see that a periodical web article would be an online magazine, journal, or newspaper that might have PDFs or HTML versions of their print articles. Right. Now, there are more and more journals and magazines and newspapers that are completely online. They don't have a print version. In that case, you would cite those just as a non-periodical web article. But if they are a periodical web article, that means that it's going to be more like this, that you're going to have the print information. So let's say that here is an article that was printed in the Atlantic. So you can see right here is the information for how to do the citation for the Atlantic, right? The print version. Because this is a database, I'm going to use that other form. But if I found this online, which I can, The Atlantic actually has it online, right? And so this is an online version of the print article, but we can see that this is just an HTML, right? It's not the PDF. Because it's though originally in print form, right? And it tells me this because it's in the October 2013 issue, right? And that tells me all of that. What I need to do is I need to give the print form information first. Now, here's the problem with this one. You don't know the page numbers here, right? So you can't provide all that information. So what you would have to do is you'd have to follow basically the format for an online non-periodical web article. I know it's confusing, just do your best. I'm not going to be nitpicking about this. I would say that if you find it online, use this format because it's mostly going to be helpful. The only time you need to worry about periodical web articles is when you actually find a PDF on this website that actually shows you the actual page numbers. That's when you'd have that kind of hybrid. Okay, so again, this is just going to walk you through those things, but you need to always check with the book because I don't provide all the information you might need. I just provide that standard layout with the punctuation and the reminder about the different kinds of format. So again, you still need to go to your book, your key for writers, to check your MLA.